The story of Franca Viola is a powerful example of this. The double standard has led to twisted legal codes over the years, including Article 544 of the Italian Criminal Code. This article allowed for the repair or exculpation for an unmarried woman's rape by marriage to the rapist. This law changed many women's lives until it was abolished, largely because of a shift in the meaning of honorable behavior that came as a result of the story of Franca Viola, shown here. Viola grew up in Alcamo, Sicily, in a rural community. In 1963, she was engaged at the age of 15 to the nephew of a local mafia member. The engagement was broken off by her father when her fiancé got into trouble and was arrested for theft. Viola became engaged to a new man in 1965, but her former fiancé returned to the picture and began stalking her and threatening her family. In December of 1965, the former fiancé and 12 armed companions broke into the Viola home and kidnapped Franca Viola. Franca was repeatedly raped over 8 days in a farmhouse on the outskirts of town belonging to the assailant's family. He told her that now she would be forced to marry him so as to not become a dishonored woman. Franca Viola rejected the idea that she lost her honor because of the rapes and that it could be restored or repaired through marriage. This is a photograph of Franca Viola in the police station where she stated that she had no intention of marrying her assailant and that she wanted to sue him for kidnapping and rape. This decision was a big deal in 1966 and got lots of headlines at the time. In fact, it was very consequential, this decision. In a monumental ruling, Viola's assailant was found guilty and sentenced to 11 years in prison, which was appealed down to 10, and 7 of his accomplices got terms. 10 years later, in 1976, he's released from prison and 2 years later banished from the community in Sicily and shot and killed later. It took still 5 more years after this, and Article 544 was ended in 1981. A full 30 years after the crime, in 1996, sexual violence went on the books as a crime against the person instead of against public morality. The cascading effects of this decision by Franca Viola included that she was deemed a heroine for her courageous refusal to marry her rapist. Both the Italian president and the Pope publicly expressed their appreciation of her courage and their solidarity with her and the man she ultimately marries. This upswell of public approval served as a signal that this was an honorable marriage, the marriage that Franca Viola eventually did have. Whereas marriage to pardon a rapist was not. It was dishonorable. This is a story of defiance of honor codes that led to the transformation of a law as a result of one person's story and decision. And that story and that decision, its impact on public opinion about what's honorable. There's been progress in terms of the reduction of honor codes that lead to violence against women. Honor killings do still occur, and they're carried out for a variety of reasons that reinforce gendered honor codes. Assumed sexual or behavioral transgression, adultery, sexual intercourse, or pregnancy outside marriage, and being raped. There are about 5,000 honor killings each year worldwide, according to the World Health Organization. Honor killings are also sometimes used to cover up incest. And in some cases, influential patriarchs have induced children in the family to carry out the murders to escape prosecution themselves. In 2007, this video still shows the stoning of a 17-year-old girl in an honor-related murder that was orchestrated by her family and local people. The prevalence and contributing factors of honor killings are traced by public health organizations, including researchers of femicide, which is the intentional murder of women because they're women, typically that they've defied their traditional role as woman, wife, girlfriend, or daughter. Risk factors for honor killing include a woman being pregnant, prior and recent abuse by the perpetrator, the presence of a child from a previous relationship in the household, and leaving the abusive relationship. Beside these individual level factors, there are institutional factors. So at the societal level, honor killings are more likely when there are limited resources for health or education and few women serving as elected leaders. By contrast, protective factors against honor killings include having a separate house from one's partner, something that is economically impossible in many areas of the world. They also include several factors concerning law and order, the presence of police and the restriction of firearm access, mandating arrest for restraining order violations by perpetrators of intimate partner violence. So how can people change honor norms and honor codes? APA believes it's possible to change harmful honor norms, even in such conditions, through collective shaming. By associating the enactment of violence and harmful honor norms with dishonor and shame, the codes can be reversed. He notes that this requires not just vocal condemnation from those on the inside who have a direct stake in the matter, but also the condemnation of people on the outside who set different standards for justice and the reduction of harm. Nisbet and Cohen's view is that social economic factors create honor cultures, and these are what need to be addressed in order to change honor norms. In their view, conditions of scarcity, problems with law and order, the institutions, and low mobility lead to cultures of honor with a propensity for violence. So people interested in changing harmful or violent honor norms ought to intervene on these directly. So at this point, it's useful to consider where you perceive honor and honor cultures to be present today, and why you think that. Nisbet's theory of honor cultures is not a claim about the South alone. He's using the conditions faced by the people in the South as an example of the difficult conditions that produce honor cultures everywhere and promote violence. So in his account, similar cultures of honor and economic determinants can be seen the world over. Appiah focuses on honor as sort of an ever-present influence in every culture. It's the determiner of right and wrong behavior for people within their group or community. What's right is what's honorable. What's wrong is what brings dishonor to the self and to the group as an extension of the self. It's also what motivates people in groups toward right action, in his view. When the group is collectively viewed as honorable, the individuals in that group feel that honor as their own. Is honor more of a concern in groups and communities facing exceptional economic stress with little opportunity to escape it? Or is there a concern for honor that you think qualifies as an honor culture in groups that aren't struggling? And why?